I grew up in the Catholic Church, and what I saw as I was young, I just saw a lot of contradictions between how the people within the church acted versus what was preached on Sunday. My father was a deacon who went to church every day. His brother was a priest who became a priest at a very young age of 18. And he performed all of the ceremonies within the family. But I was thinking about um, what was being preached and what was actually happening within the church. About the age of 14, I said, there's something wrong with this. It's not logical what they're teaching and how they're acting. So I went on a search. I went to churches in the neighborhood, different churches, Protestant churches, Baptist church, and started on a journey of looking for something that made sense to a logical person like me, who's an engineer, who's a mathematician, and spent many years looking at different religions, looking at Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, Baha'i, and other religions. And the conclusion that I came to um, is one that I use the metaphor about the blind men and the elephant. For me, the religions are the blind men, and the truth that the prophets taught is the elephant. So none of the religions really can see the whole elephant, but they bring pieces of the puzzle together. Some see a tree trunk, some see a snake, some see a hose, some see a big wall. But if you take a step back and look at the commonality between all of the religions, you find love at the base of all the religions, and loving your neighbor, and doing unto others as you would have them do to you, the golden rule. All these commonalities come together. And if you forget about the differences between the religions and focus on their commonalities, you can come to that truth that all the prophets taught. It's like the joke in the classroom where one person would tell the next person a story, and by the time it got to the end of the classroom, we had a completely different story than it got started with. And that's the issue that we have with religions. Religions are man-made. They've been formed by councils and groups of men coming together and deciding what the religion should be. In my work, I recommend using the philosophy of the Baha'i religion. It's not that I support the Baha'i religion, but they have a wonderful philosophy of telling their children to learn everything you can learn, to study everything you can study, and make up your own mind. There's no church that tells you that. They want to control what you believe and control what you think. And that's how they gain power over humanity. Throughout history, religion has been used to control humanity. And it's still being used today to control humanity. So what we should do is try to discover where the differences come from between religions. Find out why they're all different. And I think if you do that, if you go on this search that the Baha'i recommend, and the search that I went on throughout my life, you'll find really commonality between everybody, and you can understand why it is that Jesus said that we need to love our enemies, because in reality, we're all from the same source. We're all brothers and sisters. And that is why what we think today might be our enemy, but they're actually our spiritual brothers and sisters. And we need to help them on their way, not hinder them from their path of restoration, their path of enlightenment. We need to help them along that way, not to cause them pain and suffering. So, like I said, when you look at your religion that you may be in, compare it to others and see what's different, but focus on what's the same. I think you'll find what I've found, and that is that it's easy to accept everybody for who they are, because we all come from the same source.